Hello, how do you find the support line of a stock? I have Think of Stream open here, and we have a stock Costco. To trace a support line for this stock, it's good to go to maximum monthly chart. A maximum monthly chart will allow you to see multiple years of the stock chart on your screen. Without zooming, it's good to identify the obvious lows that you can see, and then you trace a line. And it's good to trace the line connecting the closest two lows, because to trade a straight line, you connect 2 points. So for this one, because we have the line trace already, the 2 points that I'm seeing obvious here, the closest 2 points are this one and this one. Therefore, if I want to trace from here, I'm going to pass by here. So and then I can just, with the drawing tool, you'll use the trend line. So I have it at the bottom. Once you start using it, it should be at the bottom. I will trace that, pass by the closest one that I found, and then I'll try to see what are the other lows that the line can touch base with, and then I will just go straight to see how far I can trace that straight line, keeping the first touch point and the second touch point, and any other point that it can touch after that. If I'm tracing it and it's not touching a lot of point, I can decide not to continue that, or I can still trace it but then keep tracing others. So now that I have this one, it is a support line. A support line just means when the chart pull back before going back up, that bottom low before it start going back is if there is a repetition on where that low reaches before it start going up, then that can be considered as a support line. There are more than one ways to trace a support line, but because I trade on upward, I swing trade upward large stocks, I like to trace my support line being oblique. I'm using uptrend line swing trading strategy. Therefore, I like to trace my trend line upward oblique, being in an oblique, or having an upward, or upward. I like to use the word direction, like having that direction, oblique, upward direction. So therefore, that is the way I trace my support line. But it's good to start on a maximum monthly chart so that you can trace the longer one, and then you'll move to maximum daily chart and trace more there. So tracing this is not enough because it didn't get us to where the stock price is right now. And then I will try to see, are there more that I could trace? So if I'm starting it from here, for instance, I can see some lows there, but I'm noticing that it's going to be close to the one that I already traced. Therefore, I'm not going to do that. So I will pick another low, and then I will see, is there going to be any difference? So yes, it's going to be different from this one. The cost is going to be different from this cost. Therefore, I will pursue it and just see what obvious lows I can see there and connecting them. So talking about lows, a lot of time is the red bar. It is the price decrease the lowest point of it, but it could be a green bar as well. When the price start going up on my chart, is going to be represented by a green bar, but some green bar can be low. So if that is the lowest point between the pullback and the first green bar, then that's what I will use. So we could trace some where we do not have any. For instance, do you see this indentation here? So I will just start going from there, and then see the next one will be here. So I will connect those two, and while I'm keeping an eye on it to make sure I'm not moving away from it, I will try to see which other point I could reach, and then I will continue. So now that I know that I'm at the end of the space and I'm touching the y-axis, I'll try not to be touching it too much, otherwise the line will bounce back, and then I will let it go. So now, as you can see, I touch base with those two, and without zooming, it's not going to be accurate, but it's okay because the support line is more like a zone, not just a straight line. So I'm connecting those two, and I know that multiple times the chart pull back to that line that I trace. So it is a support line where the chart pull back to use as a support before going back up again. But this is far from where the price is right now, because it is less likely for the price to pull back all the way here. I can assume that this trend line may not be used by the chart again. Therefore, I will try to trace another one. I can just take it from here, and I'm going to, this will be my second point, and I'm going to see, is there any other point I could reach? So I want to be at the bottom of it, but sometimes it may not touch any other point that it could have touched if I go a little bit above it. So I will try to move the mouse around to see, is there any other point that it could touch? And sometimes you might have to go a little bit into some, and it's because again the chart is using that area as a zone. Sometimes it might go below the support line, sometimes it might be above it. So if I trace this one and touching the first 2 points, it does not touch any other. If I trace it from there, going a little bit into this one, I'll be able to touch the other, some other 2 pull bars touch that line. So this is a little bit more accurate in my opinion than this. And this support line here is pretty much aiming for this one, in the sense that the one that I traced here went into it. But yeah, it's okay to trace those different lines when you start swing trading. But yeah, to trace your support lines is going to start on the maximum monthly chart, to have those obvious one that you, those obvious pull back, because the chart is swinging, it has highs and lows. You want to connect the lows. The lows will be the support line. I like to use the terminology of peak of the mountain and the valley. So the chart is making a mountain and valleys. So the support line is where the chart is pulling back to the valley to start claiming another mountain again. So, and that is how I like to start tracing my support lines. Now you will move to maximum daily chart, and on the maximum daily chart you will be able to find the line that you trace on the maximum monthly chart. Now on the maximum daily chart, you will be able to activate your trend line, and adjust it. If it's not quite touching the pullbacks, or if it's too much into it, you'll be able to adjust the line as you see fit. And if you want to trace a line that is going close to where the price is on the maximum daily chart, you will be able to trace those. So if I'm tracing it from here, for instance, then I will try to reach this one because I need 2 points to trace a straight line, and then I will see how far this is going to go. So it's going to take me here. Good. Now I have this because it's still far from where the stock is. If I want to trace another one, I can start with that low. And then I will see what kind of low I can reach. So I will reach this area. And then I will say, okay, so from there, while I'm maintaining it there, I will see how far it can take me. So it's taking me somewhere here. I can let it go. And then because again, this trend line that I just traced ended. I will say it ended in the sense that I'm having the chart below it. Therefore, I will try to see, okay, so if I want to trace one going to where the price is, maybe going from here and see if that will take me there. No, it's not taking me there. It's taking me above it. Therefore, whatever line I'm tracing from here, the actual line ended. So I can zoom further now and look at what is going on there. Because I'm now tracing, if I wanted to trace something here, it's support line from here, I'm going to connect this point and this point. And if I connect this point and this point, for instance, those two lows is going to go somewhere here. So this short trend line, it is a support line. It's just a shorter one. And you can actually trade on that support line, but that support line ended here. So because the chart is a little bit below this trend line, it can still, following this trend line, because using it as a zone and it's not too far from it, it could still following it. But here you could trace a support line there as well. It's just going to be a short one. And how do you trace a support line? You are connecting higher low. So this is a low, it is a pullback, it is a low. The next one is that one. You will identify the lows when you see a green bar. The lows is when the price decrease that day. Because we are working with a daily chart here, every single bar is a daily chart. It is a daily price, a daily fluctuation of the price. The market open in the morning at a certain price and close in the evening at a price lower than the price it opened in the morning for that particular stock. Therefore, the price went down that day. It will be represented by a red bar. A green bar is the price open in the morning. The market open in the morning at a price that is less than the price when the market closed in the evening. The price went up. The price went up that day. It will be represented by a green bar. So when I see a green bar, I know that the pullback ended. That is the last of the pullback. It is a low. The price went up and pulled back again. It's just something that the chart does. And then I see a green bar. This pullback ended. So I'll compare this pullback to this one. And this one is higher than this one. Therefore, I trace a trend line there. This trend line didn't continue though, because then I have a lower lows. the price went up and then pulled back multiple days, 4 days, but then went up. So this, I will compare this last pullback to this one. It is almost about the same level, if not lower, but this one is even lower than this one. So this trend line that I'm tracing there, I could activate it and connect okay, those 2 points. And since the price already leave that, I will just go connecting where the chart started, the first touch point, and I'm going to, let's zoom more. My laptop is a little bit sensitive here. So I'm aiming for the bottom of this, and I'm aiming for pretty much the 6, and then I'll just go there, wherever it will take me. The 6 at the bottom just shows you how low the price went that day, and the 6 at the top just shows you how high the price went that day. So connecting those two, as you know, day passes, I will just keep extending it, and if I see the price keep being above that trend line, if the price goes below it, then I know that this trend line ended, and I will wait for 2 higher lows again to start tracing a new support line. And that is how I trace my support line. So depending on your swing trading strategy, you might trace more a short support line around where the price is, or you might trace a longer support line. It depends on your strategy. With our strategy, long uptrend line swing trading strategy, we are using more our long trend line. Our long trend lines, the support lines, because it's passing by the valleys or the lows of the chart, it is the support line. I like to just call it uptrend line. That is where we are buying. That is our entry point. Therefore, I keep extending the long trend line. Even this one, even though the price is below it, I will keep extending it, and I will just make sure I know where, I see where it came from, but I know that it touched point with that, and I will just keep extending it, because I'm comparing what the chart is doing around that trend line. I'm comparing the price fluctuation to that trend line. Therefore, I'll keep extending it. It is a long trend line, more than 1 year old, and I'll keep extending it whether the price is following it or not. But it is a trend line that we chose to buy the stocks at. Therefore, it is our entry point, and that is how we trace our support line. You don't do a calculation, you just connect some higher lows, and when you are tracing a long trend line, the first 2 touch point, you want to make sure they are a little bit close to each other, and then you go from there to see how far that trend line can take you. And if it happens that the chart pull back to it multiple times, then you know that that support line, there is a chance that the depending on where the price is, it could, if it's higher up, it could pull back to it. And in this example, we have two support line, long uptrend lines that we like to buy the stocks at. If it happens that it's done using this as a support at the moment and wanted to go below, we'll be waiting for it. As long as when it's far from this trend line, we'll be aiming to buy it at the lower trend line. Therefore, we'll just wait for it and keep observing what the chart is doing. And that is how we find, trace, and use our support lines. And we also call it uptrend line. And when we are thinking about buying stocks, we think more about support line, not resistance line, but support line. And to sell stocks, that's when we'll think about resistance line. I like to just call it highs. It passed by the peak of the mountain, and the support line passed by the valleys underneath the mountain. Thank you for watching. We thank you very much for your time. We thank you very much for all your comments, and we thank you very much for watching our videos. We thank you very much, you all that subscribe to our channel. I'm Afiavi Liberman, creator of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel, and in soup.com, our blog. On our channel and on our blog, we share different ways to save money and different ways to make money to reach your financial independence, where you do not depend on an employer to provide for your family. And swing trading is one way to make money. For more of our trading and investing videos, please check the playlist links in the description. Thank you.